This Marquee Dragon video is sponsored by Shattered Crystal, game codes, and items.
Hello, I'm Marquee Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and today I'm at Gamescom. Gamescom is huge, there's so many people here. And I've got Brian. Was that right?
Brian.
I am so horrible at names too. Yeah.
It was just 3 seconds ago I told you.
I know. It's that brain damage
right.
that I've got. Yeah. So
it's the video games, right?
Yes. Too many headshots.
Nice.
On those first-person shooters, yeah. So, Brian is working on Tera.
Correct.
And what exactly is your title on Tera?
So I'm the senior producer here at Enmasse Entertainment, and we're in charge of publishing Tera to North America.
Okay, so is that so? When you're in charge of publishing, did you have anything to do with the development, or how? Explain that.
Since I've been on board, I've been in charge of gathering Western feedback, QA, localization, our writing team, really helping develop the story, and tweaking the fine elements of the game that our community is talking about and bringing it back to the development team.
Mm-hmm. So, not quite sure where to put that in the perspective of things. So you're more like you're bringing it to the masses rather than having created the game.
Correct. I'm working with the development team to make sure that the community's feedback is heard so that they understand, what the consumers are really wanting.
Very important.
Yes.
So,
well, anybody can make a game, but you got to make a game people want.
Well, right. So one of the things that I'm really anal about with a lot of game development is the game fun?
Right.
And so is Tera fun?
Yes. That is half the reason I have my job right now, because I played this game and I wanted to be a part of it.
Really?
Yes. I played it early on, but I still really saw the magic that was, being created by the development team. It was really, the thing that they really sold me on is they had a singular focus in the game. They said, we want everyone to focus on the middle of the screen in Tera. We want everything to kind of come from that. And what's developed from that is our action-based combat system. It's been a minimal UI. We've really, created boss monsters with these interesting tells and mechanics and created a more console-like experience with Tera that's really helped differentiate it than other MMOs that are out there.
So how do you create a console-like experience on a PC game?
It's not easy. And especially technology-wise, MMOs 10 years ago, you have your traditional targeting system, and that's generally what most MMOs now use. You target something, you hit something. It's very easy for the server and the client to detect that, latency, all that good stuff. But that was 10 years ago. And so with Tera, we've created a way to where you swing is what you're going to get in terms of your damage output. So no longer do you have this dodge statistic. You have to physically dodge out of the way. And so by creating that, focus on the center of the screen and not all the UI and the stats and the numbers, we've created an action-based MMO that really lets the user get into the combat and control their own destiny.
So essentially what you're saying is if I've got my sword,
right,
which I don't have it with me, so you guys are just going to have to imagine that I have my sword with me. And I take a swing at you, depending on your reaction and where I strike you makes all a difference?
So I would have to get out of the way. I'm not going to roll the dice. I'm going to roll out of the way.
I see. So people who are not good at Twitch-based stuff might have a little bit of a hard time with that.
I would say it's 50-50, right? Well, actually, the biggest class difference is going to be healers, because healers are going to have to know where everyone's at on the battlefield. So players are going to have to stay in place so that the healer can find you to heal, because they're going to have to run up and use a healing arc to make sure that person gets healed instead of click, target, click, target. That doesn't exist in Tera. So it's very frenetic. Everyone's kind of running around, and if you get out of line, you guys are going to wipe and die.
So what's something, since you listen to the community, what is something that you've been hearing that wasn't good that is being fixed?
That's a good question. So there was a lot of issues with downtime in the game at first. You were spending too much time, healing yourself up. So, a bandage system was put in place. We've increased regeneration rates. Another unusual thing was, at first we had completion percentages for zones and quests and going through, and we started to explore that, and our users were really kind of begging for an achievement system. And so we started talking to designers and developers, and we've implemented a full-on achievement system into the game, that tracks all the fun stats, all the different things that, users have come to expect in games.
I'm a stats junkie when it comes to character building. I want to know what every little thing does. I want to see the progress that I've made, even if I'm only playing for an hour.
Yep, and achievements will really help you do that. You'll see the micro increments that are above and beyond just the level and experience increments.
So what is, tell me about something that you guys have a challenge that you've come across, not necessarily in the game design, but just as a company to get this stuff done?
So I think the biggest thing in terms of challenges is perception and awareness of Tera. So, in Korea, Tera is the biggest thing there. It's super hyped.
So is it already live in
No,
production?
it's not live
Okay.
yet. So they'll be launching by the end of this year.
Okay.
But the thing is, they're a development team that is really high caliber in Korea. They broke off from NCSoft, formed their own studio. Everyone knows who they are. They're rock stars there, right?
Okay.
But you go to the West and not so much, right? They're like, well, I think I might have heard of them. And so for us is we need to, let the Western people know that this is a AAA game. It's full-on action combat, going to give everything you need for it. And it's a hard thing to do, and so we've hired some really great marketing people. We've assembled a great team at Enmasse, top talent from all over, from Bungie, from Microsoft, from BioWare, from EA, you name it. We've got great talent, and so assembling that over the past 6 months to really start to raise the awareness of Tera and bring it to shows like Gamescom, E3, PAX in a couple weeks, it's been no small task.
Yeah, so are there dragons in the game?
Yes. We have a video we just launched at Gamescom that has a pretty cool dragons. I'll give you the basic story plot. So all the characters are actually united. There's not separate factions. You choose your own alliances, you choose your own friends, your own enemies in the game. And all the factions in the game are in some way united against what's called the Argons. And the Argons are the great encroaching evil in the world. And so you're part of what's called the Valkian Federation, and you're fighting back against that. But there are squabbles in amongst players, themselves. And so it's really going to drive the community forward and establish Tera in terms of a real community-driven game.
So, if there are dragons in the game, what's it going to take to name one Marky?
Maybe a beer.
A beer? Oh shit! Done. No, I keep asking for that from everybody because I'm Marky Dragon in game,
right? And
I'm like,
yeah, I get it.
I just need one dragon named Marky. Nobody's done it yet. You could be the first.
So we'll see how the coverage of Tera goes, right?
Yeah. What? So tell me about. Is this a fun place to work?
Yeah. I mean,
tell me some trouble you've gotten in. That's fun, of course.
We've had so I'll name 2 instances of fun that's not just playing Tera. One is we're really big about security, both for our community and our players, but also internally. So anybody that leaves their computer unlocked in the office, we tend to
then you have
a lot of fun with.
Yes, we used to have pink pony parties, is what we called them. We'd send out meeting invites to the whole company, inviting them to a party at the desk.
Right.
And it was everybody bring your pink ponies or whatnot because that's what I like.
Our best one so far has been changing the autocorrect in Word for our PR guy, so that the always shows up as Tay, and they can't figure it out from that point forward. We also had a stint where everybody was into the yoga balls for sitting on. It's healthier, supposed to be a workout, all this kind of stuff. But what really ended up happening is we just grabbed 2 of them and ran at each other as fast as possible, and saw what happened. I won 2 out of 3, so not too bad.
Yeah, I think body mass would have something to do with that,
Hey, we are in mass, so.
Oh yeah, there we go. So what do you think? Okay, so Tera has not launched yet.
Right.
And it's in beta, right?
Correct.
Okay. Is it a public beta?
So we're doing different stages. So it's gone through closed beta testing in Korea, and it's going through what's called focus group testing here in the West. And what that's really done for us is allow us to select, a few hundred really core users that are really helping influence the game and do it on a much smaller scale. For a game, of this size, it's really important that we can hear the individual's feedback and see where the majority of the opinions are leaning towards in game design development and the progress.
So I bet you that everybody here that's watching this video is going to want to know how they can get into the beta.
So the best thing to do is go to tera-online.com, join our community, sign up for our forums. We'll have newsletters, all that kind of good stuff. It's a great thing so far. We've had a community that's been very active and grown. We've got hundreds of thousands of users that are all excited for this game and, continue to spread the word.
Mm-hmm. So is there an expected launch date or has that been announced yet?
Next year. So.
Next year?
Yes.
That's launch date next year?
Yeah. You like that?
Well, I was talking to Blizzard. I won't mention any competitors, but I was talking to Blizzard earlier today. And I'm like, when is Cataclysm going to come out? And they're like, it's going to be the 3rd Tuesday after it's done. Same difference. Who knows when that's going to be?
Right.
So, okay. So I think that. Well, I do have one more question. Are there? Will there? Tell me something really special about the game that differentiates it, other than like the combat.
Right. Well, I mean, I touched on the no faction too, because I think that's going to be really important. But what that's going to lead to for the end game is what's called the political system. And the political system is a system that players can actually vote their fellow players to an office, which will come with certain privileges and powers, such as protection and taxes and that sort of thing.
In EVE Online, that's been very popular, so that could be quite a good.
Yeah, we think it'll be a huge
thing.
Community booster. You know, really develop those individual servers and allow people to, you know, kind of take part in a greater story that they've created themselves.
Yeah, that ends up creating part of the story.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, Brian, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I appreciate getting the chance to interview you.
Yeah.
And all of you watch, I'll put a link to, it's Tera-online.com, right?
Yes, correct.
So sign up and get yourself into the community, and so that you can be ready for when you can get into the beta.
Yep.
And so
We'll make it well known when you can get in the beta, we promise.
Yeah, so, and also if you're on our newsletter, once the beta comes out, if we can score some beta codes for some people, I'll send out a
Shouldn't be a problem.
And get everybody taken care of.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Your life flashes before your eyes. Another near miss to your surprise. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. A fragile thread of life sustained.
Yeah, what was your first name again?
Brian.
Brian?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Your first name?
Marcus.
Marcus.
Okay. So, hello, I'm Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life. And today, I'm at Gamescom. Gamescom is huge. There's so many people here. And I've got Brian. Was that right?
Brian.
I am so horrible at names, too. Yeah.
It was just 3 seconds ago I told you.
I know. It's that brain damage that
Right.
I've got. Yeah.